For today's recipe, we're gonna need ham and cheese. When you're layering your ham and cheese, it's really important that the last piece is ham. All right, I'm gonna cut it in half so you can see what it looks like. Oh, look at all those layers of ham and cheese. Oh, so good. Remember that the last piece needs to be ham or else our other steps aren't going to work. So I'm separating this here, but you can see that there's a piece of cheese on top. So we're going to need to make sure that we add a piece of ham here. All right, for our next step, we're going to need some flour. So add our flour to a shallow dish. And then we have 4 eggs here. Again, add them to a shallow dish, and using a fork, just whisk these up so they're all mixed together. All right, and the last ingredient that we have is going to be Doritos. So I have some Doritos here. I'm just going to use my hands and crush them up into really small pieces. Just using your hands, you can do this. Might take you a few minutes. We need these to be really small pieces. All right, the next step is breading. So I'm going to take my ham and cheese triangle and I'm going to first dip it in flour and try and get this as well covered in flour as you possibly can. Try not to leave any empty spaces. And then it's going to go into our eggs, just like this. All right, now it's going to go back into the flour. This needs to be a really, really well breaded process. Okay, again, we're going to take this once it's covered in flour and put it back into the egg. And then back into the flour, cover it as well as you can. And yes, back into the egg. One more time. There you go. Okay, now that it's done with our egg and flour, I'm going to make sure this is all evenly covered. We're going to take this and dip it into our crushed Doritos. So you can start to see how it's going to look. It is so delicious. This is really such a perfect recipe for kids because, I mean, we're using Doritos. They're going to love it. Okay, now that it's starting to look like this, we're going to take it over to our frying pan. You're going to need hot oil. So slowly and carefully lower this into the oil to fry. Okay, we're going to give this an oil bath. So just like I'm doing it here, be very careful, but start to splash oil on top of our Doritos. Once it's starting to cook, we're going to take 2 forks and very carefully